Good morning, my amazing things. Welcome to the cavern, or welcome back. I hope you're all doing fantastic and had great weekends. Since I've been discussing cases from the 1980s, I stumbled across Robert DuBois and his wrongful imprisonment. On August 19th, 1985, in Tampa, Florida, a gardener found the body of Barbara Grams behind a dentist's office. She was spotted walking home after her restaurant job when she was attacked and beaten with a wood beam. In 1985, DuBois was found guilty of rape and murder and the death of the 19-year-old. At the time, the testimony relied heavily on a doctor linking DuBois to what was thought to be a bite mark found on Graham's body, along with the testimony of an informant in a jailhouse, which I'm not quite sure how reliable that would be. DNA testing was unreliable during this time as well, making it difficult to accurately find the person responsible. Susan Freeman, an Innocence Project attorney, worked on DuBois's case for years when she found discrepancies in the informant's story and discovered the injury on Grams was not a bite mark. Susan Freeman took her findings from the state attorney's office correction review unit, where CRU supervising attorney Teresa Hall found rape kit samples at the Hillsborough Medical Examiner's office earlier in August 2020 that weren't used at the 1985 trial, which I thought was kind of odd. She actually found it strange that they were even still around because usually old evidence is usually destroyed. The results showed DuBois's DNA was not in any of the samples. And the results of the rape kit samples identified two separate men. Abraham Scott and Amos Earl Robinson were both serving life sentences in a state prison for a Pinellas County murder. They were charged in 2022 with first-degree murder and the death of Grams in 1983. They were also charged with a second murder, the cold case of Linda Tony Lanson, who was found shot to death by a town and country roadside 5 weeks before Grams was killed. Lanson was 41. She was a freelance photographer. The night of July 10th, 1983, she left her apartment in the Woodland Terrace area. I don't know why I can't talk today. And she never returned. A jogger discovered her body the next day, roughly 13 miles away in a ditch along Old Memorial Highway, west of Sheldon Road in or near Town and Country. The killing was mentioned repeatedly that year in news stories documenting a string of murders that police insisted were unrelated. The killings involved two women who were attacked seemingly at random. Abraham Scott and Amos Robinson were convicted of robbing, kidnapping, and murdering Carlos Orellana. He was a 33-year-old office manager and a part-time shoe salesman who came to the U.S. in early 1970s from Honduras. For 37 years, an innocent man was wrongfully imprisoned for a crime he never committed. And I'm happy that he was released. I just wish that it happened sooner. What are your thoughts on this case? I think it's honestly horrible that an innocent man went to prison and spent most of their life there. I can't imagine how it's going to be adjusting to how things are today. The 80s was a different time compared to today. The cost of things wasn't nearly as high as they are today. I grew up in the early 90s, and I remember when things were 50 cents, a dollar. Now things are 3, some things are 11 for food. Gas is almost 4. I remember when gas was almost 5. And it seems like things are just going up every day. And it's becoming more and more difficult to survive. People that used to make $100,000 a year are now struggling in certain areas of the country. And I understand that it's not just in America where things are incredibly high for pricing, but it's all around the world. And I think since it's a global economy, that's what plays a role in that. So I kind of feel bad for DuBois. I really do. Especially if he had children. I mean, he missed out on most of their life. So I can't imagine what he's going to be going through. But at least he's free, so he can live out, the rest of his life with whoever's still around. Thank you so much for watching and sticking around to the end. Later this week, I'll be reviewing The Imitation, which can be streamed on Netflix. I'll admit I was looking forward to it since I am a vampire fanatic. I'm also going to review Morbius since it's another vampire movie that is rated PG-13. And I actually realized that most vampire movies that are in my top 10 are all rated R. I haven't seen too many PG-13 vampire movies, so it's kind of strange that they're making them PG-13 when all these years they've been rated R. Like some movies that I thought were PG-13 are actually rated R. Like The Lost Boys, I thought was rated PG-13. Same thing with Fright Night. Come to find out they're all rated R. So I was just shocked. If you don't want to miss the upcoming content, click the bell icon to be the first one notified. If you can't wait for more, check out my other videos on the screen behind me or in front of me. I think it's in front of me. Thank you all so much and take care until next time. Bye everyone. Have a great week.